One more time for Prince Sing.
Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome to Saba NC's 29th Annual Gala! Alright, we have a great night planned for you all. It took months of planning, so I appreciate everyone being here. Everyone being positive. So I'm going to walk you through the program. We're going to have a fun night. We will get to the bar soon. Please be prepared, right? So, you might remember, I was your MC last year as well. I got a lot of negative feedback. I think someone said, you really embarrassed yourself out there. But, as Kendrick said, somebody gotta do it, and I'm gonna do it again. One thing our community loves to do is complain. So what we did this year is we changed our program up a little bit. So if you look at your beautiful programs put together by Velvet Events, shout out to Bendergill right there. We made a few changes this year. One of the changes is less speeches. I think everyone complains that galas are fun, you're there to socialize with too many speeches. So tonight, I promise you, no speech will be over 5 minutes long. If there is a speech over 5 minutes long, please find me and I will buy you a drink at our free bar. Next, fundraising. I'm sure everyone loves that part of the night where people get up and we try to fundraise for money. Last year, Jordan Bromland, Roshi and Vanya, our VP, did a great job fundraising. Round of applause for them, please. But this year, we're excited to do something different. If you flip over your programs, we partnered with one cause. So all the money that's donated to Saba goes to our fellowship. Our fellowship funds law students and social justice endeavors. So tonight, you can donate via text message and QR code. So we won't put you on the spot, it won't be awkward. So we changed our fundraising around. So round of applause for that. Our last change. We are having an open bar all night long. So obviously drink up, have fun, but please be reflective of all the speeches. All right, to kick off the program, I want to call to our stage our current president for the next 3.5 hours, Suraj Hussain!
Thank you, Prince. Thanks, everyone. Welcome and thank you for being here to celebrate Saba NorCal's 29th anniversary gala. What an achievement for our organization. Your presence and continued support mean everything to us. I read a while back how overconsumption of social media is shrinking human attention span. So in an effort to keep you entertained, I decided to supplement my remarks with a visual presentation. It's hard for me to believe that I was up here a year ago telling you about all the things we've been working on during my term as president. Once I began my term, however, I realized quickly that a year is just a brief moment in time. But in that brief moment in time, I'm pleased to report that our board made great progress furthering our organization's mission. For those new to Saba, I thought I'd briefly tell you a little bit about Saba NorCal. Next slide, please. The South Asian Bar Association of Northern California, or Saba NC, was founded to ensure that Bay Area South Asian attorneys are provided an avenue to develop professionally, network among peers, and use their skills to give back to the Bay Area South Asian community. Next slide, please. Our mission statement can be distilled down into 5 pillars. 1, foster alliances between South Asian legal professionals. 2, advocate for the South Asian community. 3, champion diversity within the legal profession. 4, mentor law students. And 5, deliver professional development resources. Over the past year, we worked to advance each of these pillars. Next slide, please. That's why people don't do visual presentations, technical difficulties. First, to foster alliances, our board members organized a number of events for all types of audiences. For instance, our events committee, Jas Sangra and Prince Singh, worked tirelessly to organize monthly events, social events throughout the Bay, ranging from a bonfire at Ocean Beach to a festive holiday party. Next slide, please. Gurneet Singh from the in-house committee recently organized a packed networking event specifically for in-house professionals. Yamini Rao from the Social Justice Committee brought people together through her book club and networking events. And this year, we re-engaged our Life member community through exclusive events organized by our membership chair, Nita Sahai. By the way, for those unaware, Saba NorCal offers a Life membership option to attorneys with at least 8 years of practice. Life membership will get you on a listserv with some very influential people and invites to these types of events. Next slide, please. To advocate for the South Asian community, our pro bono committee members, Gurleen Rana and Neil Murthy, organize monthly pro bono clinics at the India Community Center in Milpitas. The clinics are open to all in need and serve the community with much needed legal resources. I know they are always looking for attorney and lawsuit volunteers, so please reach out if you can spare a couple of hours on a Sunday. Next slide, please. The Pro Bono Committee also organized naturalization drives to help people complete their U.S. citizenship documentation. This initiative requires significant collaboration between board members, volunteers, and the community. Thank you, Pro Bono Committee, for continuing this annual tradition. Next slide, please. To promote diversity, our endorsements committee, Laila Sundaresan and Ruby Kazi, took the laboring oar to help us vet and endorse diverse judicial candidates to the bench. They also recently organized our annual Judges Dinner, which unites prospective judicial applicants with past and sitting judges. Our foundation board, which you'll hear more about later in the program, also advanced diversity through its fellowships to support law students during their internships and post-bar clerkships. Thank you, Foundation board members Miku Mehta, Neelam Thakur, and Sanjeev Benjamin. To mentor law students, our Law Student Relations and Mentorship Chair, Elvir Sadwani, organized mentorship events and a mentor-mentee program that law students to practicing attorneys. And finally, to promote professional development, several board members participated in educational events, including a recent panel discussion on helping LLM graduates find in-house roles, featuring board members Aditi Gupta, Sonakshi Jha, and Elvir Sadwani. Thank you all for your hard work over the past year. In my speech at last year's Gala, I vowed to work on revamping our website and improving our back-end processes. I'm pleased to say that we delivered on these goals. Next slide, please. The website is revamped with the goal of better disseminating information to our membership. We also retained an on-call website consultant to help us keep the website up to date, because the state of the website shouldn't depend on the technical capabilities of the current board. Next slide, please. And regarding my goal to improve back-end processes, this year we conducted what I believe is Saba NorCal's very first fully electronic, anonymous, and auditable board election. The voting system we implemented allowed people to vote freely and fairly in line with our democratic values. Thank you to past President and JAN's arbitrator and mediator, Shirish Gupta, for agreeing to serve as our independent auditor. As I close, I want to thank the Communications Committee, Priya Kaul, and Rory Fadness for keeping our members updated through our media channels. Thank you, Gala Committee, Upinder Gill and Darpan Singh, for organizing this wonderful gala. Thank you, Executive Committee, Komi Vishakin, Roshni Advani, Sonakshi Jha, and Sonali Shah for their collaboration over the term. A big thank you to our sponsors for making our work possible. We are forever grateful. And finally, thank you to my wife, Sakina, for your support and patience over the last year. It's been an honor to serve as your president. Thank you all for being here to support Saba NC tonight. Enjoy the gala.
One more round of applause for Suraj. One thing you guys don't know, Suraj is the coolest, chillest guy out there. I've never seen him stress out once in my life. He's a partner at a law firm, and he's so relaxed. What do you guys? But Suraj, thank you for all you've done this past year. You were an absolutely amazing president. I hope we continue to see you throughout the years and continue to donate to our Gala too. Talking about donations, all about money. I am in-house counsel, so I don't have it. But when I mentioned donating tonight, the top 10 donors will be entered into a raffle. At the end of the night, we'll pull 3 names out of the hat, and you might get some prize. Maybe it'll be tickets to next year's gala, and maybe it might be a dinner with a general counsel here. I really encourage everyone to donate. But a fundraiser information on the screen shortly. But I appreciate everyone donating in advance, no matter how big of an amount it is. Thank you so much. Up next, I would like to call on stage our future president, Gomi. Before I hand the mic over to Gomi, Gomi is the senior attorney at Friedman and Full Frost, where she advises public agencies including school districts to the recent General Counsel of Palo Alto Unified School District. In that role, Gomi focused on Title IX compliance and sexual violence prevention work. She successfully led EAUSD through a federal investigation conducted by the Office of Civil Rights into sexual violence on campus. Before settling down in the San Francisco Bay Area, Gomi was a prosecutor for the Crown Prosecution Service in the UK and for the state and federal criminal prosecution bodies in Australia. One more time, round of applause for Gomi.
Thank you everyone for being here. I want to start off by saying that's it. First of all, let me thank Suraj for a wonderful year. We want to thank him for his leadership and guidance. He, like Prince said, is chill. And that's the kind of leadership that worked for us this year, so that's great. Thank you. I'm honored and inspired to follow in the footsteps of 29 amazing presidents. They poured their heart and soul into this organization. I want to thank each and every one of them. As SAVA IMC's 30th president, I pledge that the rest of the board, seated over here mostly, and I will work diligently to bring us closer to widening the circle so we can sustain SAVA NorCal's growth for another 30 years and beyond. It is the dedication and hard work of the board members, who are all volunteers, that allow us to continue this work. I want to thank our outgoing board members and to thank the incoming board members as well. I want to thank all of you here. You support us, our organization, year after year, with your presence, with your encouragement, with your constant support and ideas, and of course your financial support. I also want to call out a few individuals who are very special to me for the way they guide me throughout the years and have my back. I'm grateful to you, Charles, Sharon, Dan, Sonali, Mika, and John. I also have my family members here today. Thank you to you guys for putting up with all the stuff Mom does. Thank you to Vish, my husband, my children, Seon, Yuvan, and Karen, they're seated over there. Thank you. While we have so many events planned for this year, we are super excited and cannot wait to get started. We're just waiting for Suraj to finish so we can take over. I'm particularly excited about 2 new things. One is our new advisory committee that we've formed. It consists of esteemed past presidents. So each year, what the idea is, each year we will select 6 or 7 past presidents to guide us. And especially this year, we feel that we need the guidance of the expertise of past presidents. So thank you to Roma Shah, Paul Grewal, Charan Brahma, Dan Vaswani, Vit Prabhakaran, and Will David, for being part of the first advisory committee to Seoul SAVA NorCal. The second thing we are excited about, SAVA National Leadership Planning Retreat. This takes place in different states each year. We had to bid for it to bring it to San Francisco this year in September. So we will put on a mini gala, so we are hoping to, all of you will be there. This is a 3-day event, September 19th to 21st, so please save those dates. The meeting process was very interesting. What we had to say was that we'll take them on a wine tour, and we won, so that worked. Now we have to figure out how we're going to do that. As a minority organization, Sabah NorCal recognizes that we are not an island. We are part of a larger ecosystem of legal professionals, organizations, and advocates. Just look around this room. We have judges. I believe we have Justice Masivala here in the room. We have chief legal officers, civil rights attorneys, litigators, district attorneys. To balance that out, we have public defenders, county attorneys, representatives from many minority bar associations seated all over there. We have political advisors, and of course we have future attorneys. Each one of these individuals, each one is a pathfinder, a connector, and a cultivator. Imagine what's possible if we all stand united. Let me tell you a story. My early childhood was spent in the northern part of Sri Lanka, in a town called Jaffna. This was during the civil war in the 80s. This war was no different from the one that we have going on in many places around the world today. There was destruction, devastation, displacement, and despair. Living in a war zone, we were caught in crossfire often. I remember this one day very clearly. I was about 7. All the men in my neighborhood, including my brothers, who were 10 and 12, were detained. No reason was given, and no reason needed to be given. Even at that age, I sensed what was about to take place. Everyone there knew, but no one said anything. Women sobbed quietly, but still no one did anything or said anything. Out of nowhere, my mother lets my hand go. She walks to the front saying, "No, you cannot do this." She begged and pleaded to free my brothers and others. There was conviction in her voice. It suggested that she was not going to make this easy. I have wiped away many of these childhood memories, but I kept this one because this told me that one knows deep down what is right. I think about why no one else said anything or did anything on that day all those years ago. Can fear make us do nothing? Can it force us into silent submission? Does fear make us prioritize our own individual safety? Is my mother more courageous than others? Or did she only do this because her sons were in danger? How about us attorneys? Can we be silenced? Today we are facing something similar. Our legal system is under threat. The rule of law, the bedrock of our democracy, is under attack. No one person, institution, or entity is above it. What we are seeing is a disregard for legal procedures, political interference, and a refusal to accept judicial decisions. The principle of judicial independence is also under attack. The recent calls to impeach judges, particularly those whose rulings go against political interests, present a serious threat to the independence of our judiciary. 200 years ago, when our founding fathers ratified the US Constitution, they specifically noted in the Federalist Papers that the judiciary was meant to act as an intermediary between the people and the legislature. This is to ensure that the legislative and the executive branches only acted within the powers given to them. by the people and enshrined in the Constitution. The birthright citizenship executive order, they impact our community disproportionately. These orders seek to limit birthright citizenship, stating that only children born in the US to citizens of the country will be granted citizenship. This would exclude children of undocumented parents, as well as those born to parents with non-immigrant status, such as H-1B, L-1, TN, etc. Deportation orders. According to the 2002 study by the Pew Research Center, more than 700,000 undocumented Indians were living in the US. Currently, India has identified 18,000 Indian citizens that it will take back. What will happen to the rest? Termination of federal employees. Department of Education, for example, especially the Office for Civil Rights that I work closely with, 50% of those employees were terminated and offices closed. So who will conduct those investigations that are pending? How about the recent actions on law firms based on who they represent as clients? And let's be clear, the need for our collective voice has never been more urgent. During the pandemic, we witnessed the unwavering dedication of the medical profession, the doctors. They stood on the front line to protect us. Now it's our turn. It is the legal profession that must stand as bulwark against the forces that threaten our Constitution, the rule of law, and the rights of the vulnerable. We must be the voice. We must be the voice for those who cannot speak for themselves. We must be the guardians of justice. We must be the defenders of truth. We understand that speaking out, taking action, comes with risk, personal, professional, and institutional. We must carefully assess these risks. However, we cannot allow fear to paralyze us. We must all do something. Whether it's a small act of advocacy within our communities or a bold stand on a national stage, but we must do something. Like the doctors and medical professionals during the pandemic, we must rise to the challenge because the integrity of our legal system, the foundation of our society, depends on it. Our organization is a non-partisan one, but this is not a partisan issue. What we are experiencing is an attack on the Constitution and the legal profession as a whole. This impacts every single person in this country, regardless of their political affiliations. We all took an oath to protect the Constitution and to protect our right to represent our clients fairly. So, what can we do? As an organization, we can stand together. We can use our collective voice. When we partner with our sister bars and organization, we expand our reach. We share our resources and learn from each other. As the saying goes, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And we, Sabah NorCal, chooses to go far. Together, we must oppose the calls for impeachment of judges simply because of their decisions go against political interests. Together, we must oppose any action to impede our duty to our clients. Each one of us took oath to protect that right. Together, we must urge policymakers to shift toward more humane immigration reforms that prioritize family unity, compassion, and respect for the dignity of all individuals. What can we do on an individual level? There's so much we can do. We can reach out to others, see how we can join forces. We can invite others to join organizations like ours as well as sister bars. President of the Bar Association San Francisco, Charles Jung, is present here tonight. He highlighted the importance in his speech of personally reaching out to someone to invite them. That makes all the difference. When I moved to the Bay Area from Sydney in 2012, it was Asit Anwala who welcomed me and introduced me to Saba Nokal. Without it, I will not be here years later. So let us move forward with a renewed commitment to standing stronger together. We will not be silenced. Together we will have the courage to say, no, you cannot do this. The time for our collective voice is now. The board and I are ready. Will you join us? Thank you.
Wonderful speech, Momi. I'm looking forward to next year. We look at our slides and look back on all that we accomplished. All the amazing events we're going to have in real leadership, connection we're going to make, and all the public services we're going to provide. We're really looking forward to this year, Momi. One more time, a round of applause for our incoming president, Momi! All right, up next we have board recognitions. So I would love to call on stage Gurdeep Singh. Many of you know, Gurdeep Singh is our incoming president-elect. In 2024 Saba North America, a rising star. Gurdeep is an IP litigator and patent attorney at Jones Day. Shout out to Jones Day. He has dual training in electrical engineering and biomedical engineering. Beyond his legal and technical pursuits, he is a dedicated pro bono advocate. He's a former competitive tennis player, and now a proud tennis coach to his little daughters. Everyone, a round of applause for Gurdeep Singh.
Good evening, everyone. Prince, I didn't get the memo for the 5-minute max speech. But standing here between you and dinner, I'll make sure it's not too long. Those are some big shoes to fill, Momi and Siraj. But as a joke to my wife, my shoe size is 12 and a half. It's amazing when the current president does all the work for you. I was here to give the board recognition, but he made a phenomenal slide to do that. Thanks, Siraj. So first of all, I would like to recognize our current board, especially board members who worked very hard and are rolling off the board. Upinder Gill, who is one of the co-chairs of the Gala along with Darpan Singh. Thank you, Upinder. And Aditi Gupta, who's probably not here, has been a great in-house co-chair with me this past year. I'm very proud to take over with this new phenomenal board. I look forward to working under Gomi's leadership and working alongside a phenomenal board. And I won't take the time to read every single name. It's in here. Again, thanks to Siraj. But if everybody can come on the stage one by one, just for a group photo, I think that would be great. Roshni Armani, our incoming VP. Sonakshi Shah, Treasurer. Sonali Shah, Secretary. Priya Paul, Communications Co-Chair. Gauri Fratness, Communications Co-Chair. Gurleen Rana, in-house programming. Phenomenal Prince Singh, in-house programming. Neil Murthy, pro bono. I'll go a little bit slower to take my entire 5 minutes. Ashima Duggal Pro Bono, Jazz Pandra Events, Neha Naik Events, Yamini Rao, Child Justice, Neeta Sahadev, Membership. Sorry, I should have remembered this. Ayla Sundaresh, Endorsements. Ruby Ghazi, Endorsements. Alveer Sadwani, Mentorship. Darpan Singh, Mentorship. Also the current Gala co-chair. And Jayanaran, Gala co-chair. Or actually the Gala chair. We can cover the gap. And of course, the most prominent, most important person of the day, of the night, especially the person who did all the work for me, Tiraj Hussain. Thanks so much, Komi and I and everybody else. We look forward to working together with this amazing crew. I'll let Prince invite everybody to dinner now.
Alright, seems like I must stand between you guys and dinner. I do take bribes, though. Alright, Sally, I won't be dismissing tables, but everyone please stay seated. Our amazing DJ, can you round of applause for him? He will be dismissing the tables and then go to the buffet. I heard that if you put on a dance performance, he might dismiss you early. Alright, everyone, I will give it over to DJ Singh. Enjoy dinner. Thank you, everyone. I would like to call on stage our current president, Siraj Hussain, and our incoming president, Gomi. Round of applause for them.
The dessert, gulab jamun, so I haven't had anything to eat yet because I'm just so excited. I can't eat yet. Are you all having a good time? That's great. Can we just give it up again for Upinder and Darpan for working day and night? It's like organizing a wedding and they do it every year. So thank you so much. So we would love to recognize some of the amazing talent within our board as well as in the community tonight. We owe to these people and we need to recognize them. So every time I read a name, Roshni's going to bring me an award and Siraj is going to hand it to the person and I'll read their bio. So I'm so excited. The first award is the Rising Star Award. And this one goes to our own Prince Preet Singh. I know we don't need to introduce Prince and all of you know him, but I want to say a few words about Prince. Prince is an associate counsel. He's in-house. He's at Rocket Money, specializing in advertising, marketing, and IP law. He was previously a patent litigation associate at Reed's in San Francisco. He has been an active SABA board member for 3 years, helping to grow the membership and organize events. He proudly represents his Punjabi Sikh identity while promoting diversity and equity initiatives. He holds a Bachelor of Arts from UC Santa Barbara an MPH from Harvard University, and JD from UC Davis, where he was the 2020 commencement speaker. And we absolutely love Prince. He is ready to do anything for any board member, for anything for Sabah FC. So we cannot function without Prince. So I am so proud that this award goes to Prince. This award is the GC of the Year, and we would like to recognize Malik Shah. Malik also doesn't really need any introduction. He's a General Counsel of the Year because he has been doing some amazing things lately, which you all probably know about. He's the General Counsel of Hippocratic AI, a Series B startup. Hippocratic uses generative AI to power virtual agents that help address the growing shortage in clinical staffing worldwide. As General Counsel and a key member of the executive team, Malik navigates the company through a variety of legal matters and leads the company's public policy and governmental affairs function. He regularly speaks with legislators and agency leads on AI governance, helping to guide effective policy proposals. Congratulations, Malik. This next award is the Distinguished Board Service. We would love to give this award to our own Upinder Gala. If you are enjoying the flowers, I have mentioned the flowers before, I just cannot. The flowers, the food, everything tonight, it's because of this wonderful person, Upinder. Upinder was previously an attorney at Jones Day and now runs her own events planning company called Velvet Events. So look her up. Over the past 2 terms, Upinder has worked meticulously to organize this year's and last year's Gala, and her efforts have helped unite South Asians in the Bay Area through these events. She received her JD from Georgetown University Law Center and holds an undergraduate degree in legal studies from UC Berkeley. Congratulations, Upinder. Thank you so much. I am so proud to announce the next award, the Community Advocate Award. Our own Alti Kohli, she is the Executive Director of the Asian Law Caucus, ALC. This is the first and longest serving Asian American legal and civil rights organization in the country. Arti is an experienced leader with over 20 years of experience working at the intersections of immigration, civic engagement, criminal justice, economic equity, and national security. Having arrived in the United States as a 7-year-old immigrant, Arti's work is deeply personal. She fights to protect our democracy, understanding firsthand the sacrifices immigrant parents make for their children. Congratulations. We are so proud of you. Thank you. This next award goes to Sonali Shah. If you want to talk about corporate responsibility, she is it. Sonali is an IP counsel at Aura, where she brings deep expertise and strategic insight to her work at the intersection of innovation and law. She has served on the Sabah NC board for 5 years. For the past 3 years and entering her fourth, she has served as board secretary. She keeps us all in mind, stewarding our governance with clarity and care. Before that, she led a mentorship and student relations chair, where she built meaningful bridges between generations of South Asian legal professionals. She is so bright and dependent and responsible, and we cannot think of a better award to go to Sonali Shah than corporate responsibility. The outstanding mentor in law goes to, again, our own Neil Chatterjee. Neil is a partner in Goodwin's intellectual property practice. He's an internationally recognized technology litigator and a trial lawyer with a proven track record of wins in hard-to-win technology cases. Neil is passionate about diversity in the legal profession and founded the Bay Area Diversity Career Fair. He also sits on the boards of the Asian Pacific Fund and the Law Foundation of Silicon Valley. He's a long-time Sabah supporter since its earliest days and has served on the National Advisory Committee as well as the Advisory Litigation Committee for SAGCO. We can keep going on and on and on, but you will understand that this is probably just a little snippet of Neil, and we are so proud to hand him the award, the Outstanding Mentor in Law. Darpan Singh. We would like to recognize Darpan with her distinguished board service. Alongside Upinder, Darpan has worked so hard to bring Sabah Gala the last 2 years. She's an associate at Accent Beltrop, where her practice focuses on antitrust and intellectual property litigation. Over the past 2 years, Darpan has poured considerable time and energy into the planning and execution of this year's and last year's galas. Her efforts have helped make these galas a premier event that brings together the Bay Area legal community. She received her JD from UC Law SF and holds an undergraduate degree in chemistry from Chapman University. Is it a coincidence that Darpan's outfit matches our flowers? I'm not sure, but we're so grateful for what you have done in the last 2 years, Darpan. Trailblazer Award. It goes to Ron Fernando. As the Sabah president, past president, most of you know Ron Fernando. He needs no introduction. He's a lawyer, he's an entrepreneur, advisory board member, and an unbelievable father to the 2 children who are here tonight. Where are you guys? Say hello. For the past 12 years, Ron has been building a boutique intellectual property firm, Fernando and Partners LLP, based on an unconventional business model of his own design. The firm has become a leader in innovation strategy and the protection and licensing of IP. The firm's mission is to develop assertion and licensing-ready IP assert portfolios for some of the world's most recognizable technology companies and stealth startups as a strategic partner, and not merely as a legal services vendor. In addition to this, he was telling me about some other great stuff that he's got up his sleeve. So we are so proud that the Trailblazer Award goes to Ron Fernando. Sonakshi Jha. The Financial Stewardship Award goes to Sonakshi. She's a finance attorney, dual qualified in India and the United States with a strong background in financial transactions. She has been a dedicated member of Saba Nokal since 2018. She began her journey on Saba Nokal's board, first as a member of the foundation board and later joined the executive committee of the main board as a treasurer. From filing taxes to managing dues and budgets and supporting the planning and execution of our annual fundraisers, she has played a critical role in ensuring our organization's financial health. None of us know anything about any of this, so we totally rely on Sonakshi for anything finance related. And all you have to say is, Sonakshi, what do we do here? And a minute later, you have your answer all set up. So that type of financial stewardship and making sure everything is on track, she's been doing that for many, many years for us. And hopefully she will stay and do that over the next 30 years. Thank you so much. The Outstanding Leader Award goes to Vic Prabhakaran. Vic is a California energy attorney focused on matters related to greenhouse gas reduction, rate making, safety, and procurement. Vic is a partner in charge of the San Francisco office of David Wright Tremaine. They're all here over there. Vic is very proud of his growing office of 53 attorneys, which includes 4 partners, 1 counsel, and 3 associates of South Asian descent. He's a past president of many organizations, including Saba Nokal and the Bar Association of San Francisco. And he currently serves on the board of the South Asian American Justice Collaborative, SACHCO. He is also part of our advisory committee, the very first advisory committee, which we are so humbled by that he would say yes to that. Thank you so much, Wade. Thank you for being an outstanding leader. Siraj has proved himself to be the best slides person, but clearly he didn't do this slide. Siraj, thank you so much for being a leader. You are so humble and organized, and you do it with a smile. No matter what the issues are, you will just say, I'll take care of it. That your leadership has just been amazing the last year. Thank you so much. We have a small award for you as well for being the 29th past president of Saba Nokal. I'm saying past president, I guess you're done and I've taken over. The next 5 or 6, 7 minutes, you are going to be hearing from Kalpana Pettibottler. She is the executive director of SACHCO. She has been, you probably all know that she's been doing some amazing work in that front. Before I ask Kalpana to come up, I just want to tell you a little bit about her. She brings over 20 years of experience as an immigration attorney with expensive pro bono work for organizations like the ACLU, Catholic Charities, Tahir Justice Center, Maitri, Narika, and others. She's an activist at heart. She has led impactful initiatives including managing a 200-person volunteer group with the India Community Center, spearheading a major campaign to hold the deportation of an Indian teen, Dreamer, organizing Know Your Rights and naturalization drives, and challenging ICE's deportation plans of over 1,500 international students. Her expertise has been recognized by outlets such as the New York Times, BBC, Forbes, NPR, and India West. As part of SAJCO, South Asian American Justice Collaborative, Kalpana is committed to safeguarding the civil, immigrant, and human rights of South Asians in the US. She aims to foster resilience, diversity, self-advocacy within communities, while building partnerships with legal service agencies and the community organizations to uphold SAJCO's values of equity, dignity, and justice. Give it up for Kalpana Pediboto.
Silence is deafening. Silence banishes our voices, it chills our actions, it threatens our universities, schools, law firms, and all institutions that use their voices. The South Asian American Justice Collaborative is a national legal nonprofit whose mission is to fight for the civil and human rights of the South Asian diaspora in the United States. So SAJCO stands here and offers you a megaphone. Today, our international students are being rounded up under the guise of national security. And not even for adverse actions, but for their thoughts. And they are branded as criminals, some even simply for traffic violations. These are students who have spent years in pursuing higher education, and they're losing their status overnight in violation of our rule of law. So SAJCO has established a hotline and is participating in rapid response to support those students that have been impacted. I invite you to join us in these efforts. Ethnic Nepalese persecuted in Bhutan who sought asylum to the United States are now being removed after decades of living here, sent back to Bhutan, where they are again then pushed out and made stateless. They need our help. Big firms, pro bono lawyers, nonprofits, immigration attorneys, we've also been targets. So my fellow lawyers, if you feel you are being silenced, I invite you to support SAJCO so we can be your megaphone. Thank you.
Next, I would like to call up Alveer Sadwani.
Thank you for the introduction. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? It's a pleasure to be in this audience with such brilliant attorneys, loved ones, and even some parents who are here despite the fact that we are not doctors. I'm glad some people thought that was from ChatGPT. So I am the mentorship chair for Sabra, Northern California, and I want to give a quick shout out to the 34 volunteer mentors this last year. Can everyone give them a round? So our mentorship program provides events to area law schools, speed networking events, we do mock interviews, we do events geared to our LLM students, and much more. But one of the biggest things that we do is our mentorship program, in which we pair students and recent grads with attorneys for professional networking and development. But one other thing we do is we have a fellowship program. So as I list out the names, we have the fellows walk on stage. So over the last year, at the Gala, we raised $23,000 for our fellow. And all $23,000 which were directed to this student. So first, I would like to bring Diya TV on stage. She's currently a student at UC Berkeley, working at the Democracy Program at the Brennan Center for Justice. We have Emil Islam, who's from Santa Clara Law, a post-law law clerk at San Mateo's DA's office. We have Timothy Ford from the University of San Francisco, who worked at Open Door Legal. Kirti Yelamachili, UC Berkeley, and she worked at California DOJ, specifically in the Health, Education, and Welfare section. We have Yeshna Eshwaran from Northeastern University, who worked at Justice First. Abhitej Reddy from UC College of Law, who worked at Equal Justice Society. Bardia Mogadedi, who is unfortunately not here today. And we're inviting 3 of the fellows to share a few words of their experience. Again, funded by members of this group. First, we're going to have Kirti.
Hi everyone, my name is Karen. I'm a 2L at USF. I grew up in Berkeley, where I firsthand witnessed some of the challenges that the unhoused community deals with. So that's why I pursued an internship at Open Door Legal. Open Door Legal is a nonprofit organization that provides free legal services to San Francisco community members. I had the opportunity of working on the housing team, which dealt with habitability issues and eviction defense, connecting with clients, hearing their struggles, and helping them from a legal lens directly connected with my beliefs as a Sikh and giving back through Seva. And because of this fellowship and the work that I was able to do over the summer, I returned this semester as an externship on the housing law team, and I'm continuing to work in housing law and hopefully continue to pursue that after graduation.
Over to Diya.
Good evening. My name is Niambi Narang, and it's such a pleasure to be here. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to tell you all a little bit about what Saba's Public Interest Fellowship allowed me to pursue last summer. So a little bit about me. I am born and raised in the Bay Area, and I'm currently a 2L at Berkeley Law. I chose to pursue law school, and Berkeley in particular, because I am especially concerned about the role that big tech is playing in our society today, particularly when it comes to the impact on our democratic institutions. And I'd like to ensure that as AI is now developed, it's being done to serve the public interest first and foremost. Before I came to law school, I was involved with criminal justice reform campaigns, abortion rights advocacy, and efforts to fight the climate crisis. Because of Saba's fellowship, I was able to spend last summer as a legal intern for the Democracy team at the Brennan Center for Justice. For those that are unfamiliar, the Brennan Center is a nonprofit law and public policy institute that works on everything from criminal justice reform, the intersection of surveillance and civil liberties, and very importantly, in this moment, democracy protection. I was interested in working for the Democracy team in particular because they've been doing frontline work of researching how tech and AI are impacting our democratic institutions, including in elections, but more broadly as well. While I was at the Brennan Center, I had the opportunity to co-publish a piece about what states were doing to get a handle on the threats posed by generative AI ahead of the 2024 election. As I look around at the state of the world today, I'm incredibly grateful for the work that the Brennan Center is doing and that I had the opportunity to get to know the experts at the Brennan Center and learn from them. As I head to Cooley's San Francisco office this summer, I'm incredibly glad that I'll be taking my experience from the Brennan Center with me. This is far from the end of my time working in public interest, and I've been incredibly inspired hearing from everybody here tonight. My summer was completely made possible because of the fellowship that I received from Saba. So I would really like to say a big thank you to everybody in this room who made that possible. Public interest students cannot do this work without support from folks like you. So I really want to say a big thank you. And to anybody that's working in AI policy, please come find me after. I would love to chat. And thank you again, and please continue to support support SABA to make these opportunities possible for future generations of law students. Thank you.
And last we have here.
Hi everyone, thank you so much to the South Asian Bar Association of Northern California for having me and for supporting my work through the Public Interest Fellowship. I'm incredibly grateful for the opportunity and encouragement to serve our communities through the law. With the support of this fellowship, last semester, I externed with the California Department of Justice Health, Education, and Welfare section, where I worked on legal protections for transgender students in public schools within California. Around the same time, through the Foster Education Pro Bono project at Berkeley Law, I worked closely with transgender foster youth navigating the education and child welfare systems. Beyond that, I've been developing mentorship programs and professional networks during my time at Berkeley Law. That work has made one thing very clear to me. Intersectional community matters. Uplifting others and ourselves matters. As a queer South Asian woman, I carry both pride and responsibility. Pride in where I come from, and a responsibility to support and uplift not only the South Asian community, but also other marginalized groups who face systemic barriers to justice. That's why being in this room tonight is so powerful. It's genuinely inspiring to see so many South Asian legal professionals gather in community, to celebrate one another and to support one another. Events like this matter, and the work that this organization is doing really matters. They remind us that we are not alone, and that we are part of something bigger. I may not have every step of my legal career figured out, but I know this. I want to be part of a generation of South Asian lawyers who show up, for our community and for others who are still fighting to be seen and heard. This is just the beginning. I hope to lead with purpose and power, and inspired by all of you, I feel more confident that I will.
And can we give a big round of applause to all of our fellows? Again, the support of these fellows is because of all of the donations that people in this room provided. So I have a couple calls to action. I know I'm on time crunch, so I'm going to stop my jokes. But to the lawyers in the room, I have 3 calls to action. The first is donate. The money that we raise tonight will go to the next generation of fellows for SABA in Northern California. I would ask you to be a volunteer for a mentorship program next year. And finally, the easiest one is find a student in this room today. There are plenty of law students in this room. Just go over to them, say hello. Okay, I also have calls to action to students in this room. There are plenty of you here as well. If you're interested in public interest law, apply for a fellowship. We're literally raising money for you here today. Secondly, if you want a mentor, sign up. We have a program specifically dedicated to you. You can find me and I can hook you up with one now or in the program next year. And finally, find an attorney, say hello, and tell them the guy on the stage told you to do so. So I just want to thank everyone in this room for your time, your support, and most importantly, your money. Thank you.
Hey everybody, I'm Charan Brahma, in case you don't know me. I'm a past SABA Northern California president, and I'm also the immediate past president of SABA North America, as well as a partner at the table right here, sponsoring this event. SABA Northern California has always been very near and dear to me. I actually came back out to California in 2015 after having been briefly involved in SABA DC. And since there are no SABA DC people here, right, this is the best chapter, I'll tell you that. But part of what makes it the best chapter is what you've seen across this stage all night. You've heard from a lot of very dedicated chapter leaders. You've seen and heard about the work of a number of experienced attorneys, both in the public interest sector, in law firms, in government, and you've heard from law students. That doesn't just happen, right? It takes effort from all of us. It takes time from all of us. It takes dedication from all of us. Part of what it takes from us is fundraising. And I know we said at the beginning this would be the lowest pressure fundraiser you've ever seen. And since we are starting at 10:10, it is the lowest pressure fundraiser that Saba has ever done. But if you still have your place cards on the back, if you could go to the QR code, you just heard from all of those fellows. Saba Northern California's foundation made up $23,500 in fellowship money last year to help support those students. That all comes out of operating funds. We don't have some huge endowment that is just kicking out money on a regular basis. That comes from people like you. And so what I would like to challenge us to do is to raise at least $25,000 tonight. I'm not going to call out any names. I'm not going to point to specific people and ask for specific amounts of money. But I will set that goal for us. If you want to donate, it could be anonymous. It doesn't have to be a lot. It's just whatever you're comfortable with. Please feel free to stretch in what you give. If the last 2 months has taught us nothing else, it should be that our public interest and public service attorneys are critical not only to the legal field, but to the fabric of society and to helping the South Asian community. And it's important that we not only support the lawyers that are in that part of the profession now, but also encourage students who are trying to get into that field. Despite all of the financial obstacles, despite all of the other opportunities that they're giving up in other parts of the practice, encourage them to take on that important work for our community. So, if you have a moment before we start the dancing, please hit that QR code and give as much as you can to support that effort. Thank you very much.
Jared has been instrumental to Saba America and Saba NorCal. I feel like half the Spanish is South Asian at this point too because of it. But thank you everyone who has been donating. I want to shout out Snakshi, our treasurer. If you don't want to donate via the link, feel free to give her a check as well. But I appreciate everyone who has donated so far. We are raising a great amount of money that's funding a great cause. To continue on with the program, I would like to call on stage our Gala chairs, Winder and Durbin.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here today. It is just truly wonderful to see how many of you came out to Saba NorCal's Gala. And looking at this room filled with such accomplished and dedicated attorneys is truly inspiring.
Hi, thank you so much for being here tonight, everyone. We just want to do a very, very, very quick few thank yous to a tremendous team that helped put this event together today. It wouldn't have been possible without them. We want to give a huge shout out to all of our law school volunteers, wherever you are. Thank you so much for dedicating your time and joining our Saba family. And then a really, really, really quick shout out to our vendors. I know that and I are currently standing between all you and the bar and King. So we want to get out of your way very, very quickly. But a huge shout out to our DJ for the night, DJ King. He's been phenomenal. If you haven't heard him play a set before, you're in for a treat tonight. Quick thank you to Jalsa for the amazing food for apps and dinner and dessert. Shop by Sim for capturing this event so we can have everlasting memories down the road. Probably everyone's favorite vendor tonight, the bartenders from Infused Tapestry. Our florist, Friday Florals, and then my team over at Velvet. I used to remove my husband here. You put in tens of hundreds of hours reviewing designs, picking out linens, place settings, curating every single detail of this event, and I couldn't thank you all enough for this. And then the last couple thank yous to our wonderful MC Prince. Whenever you see him tonight, he owes everyone a lot of drinks because he made a promise about lots of speeches. So we'll work on that for next year. But another thank you to my amazing, amazing Gala co-chair, Durbin. It's been an absolute pleasure serving on the board with you and being your co-chair for the last 2 years. And I wouldn't have done this with anyone else. So thank you so much. Hope you all have a great night. And then real quickly, if we could just do a couple recognitions. Past presidents, we'd also like to thank you. If we could just have you stand. You all have been an instrumental part to this organization. I know we have quite a few here in the room today. Thank you so much. are kind of our founding, fathers of this organization. We're super, super happy to have you here today. And then also, if we can have our lifetime members stand. Thank you so much for your dedication to this organization. And we're so thankful that you all can make it out tonight. Now, if we could get everyone onto the dance floor real quickly for a big Saba family group photo. There's only once a year that we're really all together in one place. So if everyone could please make your way down. If you aren't in the photo, you weren't here tonight. So please make your way down. Thank you so much.